From Washington to Hollywood and right back to Wisconsin. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. Connecting the dots on the stories shaping our world with smart takes, sharp humor, and plenty of personality.
You know, I really expected more professional behavior from you.
It's news and culture without the noise.
Yeah, man!
Here's Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Dude!
Welcome to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you had a great day. We are looking forward to hopefully entertaining you over the next couple hours. I am Pete Schwaba, joined by my compadre, Greg Bach, who is just down the coast in Radio Park. I am in Marinette, Wisconsin, of course, after a lovely evening in Madison last night, and Dom Lee is holding down the fort, as usual, at Civic Media headquarters. How are you guys tonight?
I'm doing quite well. You know what?
Dom, seniority.
Okay,
Greg, you have the floor.
Oh, no, I was going to say, Dom, go ahead. You're the one who makes sure the microphones work. I don't want to get... But I was going to say good or something akin to that. Like we usually do in the world when someone says, how is it going? You say, going good, going great, going fine. It was a whatever day. Like, it was not a great day. It wasn't a bad day, but it's one of those days where I had a whole list of things I wanted to get done. And then, like, one place was closed. Another place, it just didn't make sense to drive all the way back home and then come all the way back to work. So I got, like work, I got stuff done, but like personal, got almost nothing done today. So I'm just sitting here going, ugh, I didn't like it. I don't like it.
I can relate to that. Go ahead.
Same with me. Yeah, same with me. I was going to go grocery shopping this morning, and I was just too lazy to do it. I feel like I'm being lazy today. I think it's just a lazy day. That's what it feels like, and it shouldn't be. It's a nice day out, but I was feeling pretty lazy.
All right, so I can relate to that. I left my hotel this morning in Madison. I couldn't check out because the credit card on file for the people that pay for the room was not there was not a form filled out or something. And I said, well, what if I just usually I leave. I don't go down to the front desk and check out like it's 1972, but I wanted to make sure I could get my car out of the garage. So that was the thing. Then I went to Portillo's, a fine dining establishment that I love, a beef sandwich. Dom can relate. Greg, have you had Portillo's?
I have.
I think there's one in Green. Okay.
There's one in Brookfield. Everyone is very excited about a hot dog place.
Well, no, Italian beef. Let's get this straight. I forgot to order giardiniera, and here's what I've learned: when you order food, don't change anything because it throws the entire business plan of the franchise into upheaval. And I ended up waiting 40 minutes because I made one special request after I ordered. Literally, I was waiting for 30 minutes.
Hold it. Well, okay, first of all, what did you order?
I ordered an Italian beef sandwich. I forgot to get giardiniera on it, which I typically do, the hot peppers. So I went to the woman at the counter and I said, I forgot to get giardiniera. Can you put some on the side? She said, sure. Cut to 25 minutes later, I see all these other orders flying out the door and people with 100, like their number was like 100 more than me. I'm like, what did I do? And I broke my own rule. I don't ever make special requests. It's like when Jimmy John says, do you want cheese on that? If I say no, there's going to be cheese on it. Like, you just can't mess up their flow.
Yeah, but no. Sorry, no. This is not on you. Sorry. I'm all about personal responsibility, and I get what you're saying. But if you order something and like you order an Italian beef sandwich and you say, can you throw some giardinieras on there? That shouldn't be a thing that holds up your order for the length of a Chuck Lorre sitcom. You know, it should
agree.
Just say like, hey, can we give you some on the side and you put it on yourself? Because if we do that, like, you know, like it should not have taken that long. And I don't think it was because you didn't remember. It was because something else.
You're probably right, but for comedic storytelling purposes, I was trying to be.
Well, now I feel like I just ruined your joke.
No, because I'm saying what you're saying. Like, for whatever reason, the littlest thing throws them off. That could have been like, oh, I got to go back and read. I don't know what it was, but it's just whenever it's like that Murphy's Law thing when I had to get on the road because we had our meeting and I was going to call in over the phone. I was so exhausted today. I drank a 16-ounce Mountain Dew like I was 12 years old because I wanted more than coffee. Like the coffee gives you the caffeine. I needed like sugar and caffeine. And so I'm a little amped up. So I'm just warning you guys. But I did it for the show.
Have you ever had Jolt Cola? It's way better.
Oh, wow. Not in 25 years, yeah.
Oh, Dom, have you never heard of Jolt Cola?
Never heard of that in my life, no.
Jolt Cola was a soda that came out back in like the late 80s, early 90s that their tagline was more caffeine than Mountain Dew. like there were parents out there who said things like, kids should not be drinking Jolt Cola. This is not good for them. Like, no soda is good for any child, but you pick Jolt. I remember as a kid, back when soda was almost always like refrigerated, or at least in a soda area, which it is now, but like Jolt Cola when I was younger was almost in like a specialty part of the store. Because they just didn't treat it as soda. They were more like, this seems more like a liquidy drug that we should be selling with a doctor's prescription. But here you go, kiddos. Put it on this low shelf, charge $4 for a 6-pack. All right.
It was like between soda and liquor. It was in a weird zone where they didn't know.
Yeah.
And I love it that they had another soda's name in their tagline.
Yeah.
Like kind of advertising for Mountain Dew as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's funny. I cannot tell you the last time I cannot tell you the last time I drank a Mountain. Well, I don't drink like soda that much anymore, but Mountain Dew. Oh my goodness gracious! Whew.
I don't either, but it was like it literally when I tasted it was like, yeah, I feel like I'm 12 again because that's what I used to drink. Like a bag of Doritos and a Mountain Dew, like that was lunch.
I still have a Mountain Dew Baja Blast every time I go to Taco Bell.
So does
I
my
have
son.
To have it.
What is the deal? What is the deal? Sorry, I don't want to get
What's
sued. What's the deal? So dumb. What is the situation / explanation with the youth Taco Bell and Baja Blast? Because whenever I hear Baja Blast, it's always in connection with Taco Bell. No one just ever says, man, I just had a Baja Blast. It's always, I went to Taco Bell and I had a Baja Blast. And then all their friends are like, ooh.
Because I feel like it's really hard to get anywhere else. I feel like if you go to Taco Bell and it's kind of like a variety drink. It's a special drink for me. You know what I mean? When I go there, I'm like, ooh, Baja Blast. I'm excited.
It's like a white wine with seafood. You don't order a Baja Blast with your veggie burger or your side salad. It only goes with Taco Bell.
Exactly.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Pete steps in with the remarks of his opinions there. Like, that's the thing, isn't it? You can get a salad and a Baja Blast.
That's my culinary knowledge.
It's very interesting. Okay.
It ends there. Hey, we got a great show tonight, folks. A couple great guests, a fun question. Yeah. Mike Clemens, Civic Media Sports Authority, will be here at 5:35. He's going to give us an update on a passing that is tied to the Packers organization and one of their famous stadium songs that we all know and love. Mike will be here to talk about the Brewers. What else? He's got
the draft, the Bucks. I mean, there is
draft, of course.
Whether it's on or not, Wisconsin sports is happening big time with the NFL draft. And I would talk to him about this, a tweet, I still call it tweets, from Giannis about his future with the Bucks. So we'll be talking to Mike Moore in actually just in a little while.
He'll be here. It's going to be fun. Always fun when Mike Clemens drops by. And then our pal Martin Alvarado. He is the community engagement specialist at the Madison Public Library. We're going to be talking about National Poem Month and some great books. Always fun when Martin is here. He'll be in studio, right, Tom?
He'll be in studio.
He will. I'll be letting him in. I'm excited.
Is he there already?
He's not there already, but once he is, I'll give you.
Please tell us the moment he gets there.
Yeah, I need to know.
I asked him to bring us some Baja Blast, and if he doesn't bring it, I'm very upset.
That's the perfect compliment for a poetry reading. You start reading a lot faster and getting all amped up. I think without further ado, we should probably get to our question of the night, maybe?
I think that's a great idea.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
All right. Jack Nicholson, one of the most famous actors of all time. You could argue whether he's one of the best or not. It's all subjective, but he is 89 years old today, ladies and gentlemen. So our question of the night, what is your favorite Jack Nicholson movie or role? So let us know on the, there's a variety of ways you can get in touch with us, folks. But 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You can also text us on the Civic Media app, which you probably already have. If not, please download it. It's free, and you can take us and the whole network with you wherever you go. And if you're watching the radio on the stream at Facebook, YouTube, or X Twitter, give us a drop a stream comment and be part of the Jack Nicholson conversation. But as you know, you can always chime in with whatever your thoughts are based on our discussion here at Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Can I also wish a happy birthday to another luminary actor, director, writer, which, by the way, I think is very interesting. We always talk about Jack Nicholson as an actor, but he is a writer, a director, a producer. He's all the things. But happy 80th birthday to Mr. John Waters.
Oh, wow. John Waters. See, I need a new celebrity birthday site. John Waters wasn't even on there.
Oh, I'm sorry to tell you that.
I get all
well,
these,
I'm glad I told you. I'm glad I informed you because he's fantastic.
You did too.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
get all these like influencers, like this girl named Ihes Cupquake. And it's like, why am I hearing about that? Like,
I love her. Yeah.
Did you have to bleep that?
Come on.
Wait, are you
really
serious, Dom?
I am. She's a YouTuber. Yes.
Okay. Ihes Cupquake?
Lots of millions of subscribers. I check her out. She's very good.
What does she do? Like, what does she talk about?
Crafts. She does like a lot of DIY craft stuff. And
okay,
all right.
Now I kind of feel bad. Makes like a popsicle stick house or what?
Get off of my lawn, you dirty influencers! Oh, you're making a bird box. Come on in. I'll make some tea.
Hey, speaking of that, we have tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, is our Nite Lite movie club in the second hour on every Thursday. This week's movie is The Breakfast Club. You know it, you love it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Be part of the conversation tomorrow night. We'll talk about The Breakfast Club. We'll do a deep dive, maybe ask some questions. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you've seen it, join the conversation. If you haven't, you still have time to watch it.
There you go. It's going to be fun.
And that's a Domley. That's a Domley choice.
That's a Domley choice.
I never watched it. I'm very excited.
That's a gosh, Dom, good choice.
I have
You
not.
still haven't watched it. Okay.
I have not watched it. I have not watched it.
Ticking, buddy.
Yeah,
Get yourself a Baja Blast
tonight.
and stay up a little later. Okay. We've got some news stories we need to get to. Dom, if you please.
The first big story.
So, happy Earth Day, everybody.
Thank you, Greg.
That's about it. Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Number two.
Today is Earth Day 2026, and we were talking about this a little bit with Dr. Kristen Lyerly a couple days ago. It is a celebration that has its roots in Wisconsin. Thank you to former Governor Gaylord Nelson. But Earth Day is important. It's great to celebrate. It's great to celebrate what we do for the Earth. But I read an article in the Wisconsin Examiner. We need to do a lot more, because just in the first line, they're talking about the fact that all these storms we got these past 2 weeks are very odd for this time frame. And it all has to go back to those two words that nobody wants to say out loud. Well, I do. Climate change, or as I call it, global warming, because apparently we can't say that anymore. But
Makes people feel bad.
I don't care. You should feel bad. I think about this every time, Pete, I recycle. I'm happy to recycle. We got the recycling bin at the house. I just brought him in this morning because yesterday was Recycles Day. I have no problem being a part of that solution. I have no problem being part of that movement, I should say. But I feel like, and tell me what you think about this, Pete. I feel like 25, 30 years ago, they said we should recycle, and then pushed all that responsibility on us when no one was saying, how about it's the companies who are pumping billions of gallons of black smoke into the air and doing all these things and dumping? Like, I have no problem recycling, but that's not what's going to help the Earth in the long run. We need better, bigger policies that are going to actually hold polluters to account. That's what I really think about that, when I think about that. Like, when I think about Earth Day, that's what I think about, is holding accountable those who are actually doing the major damage to our Earth.
Not the guy that recycles the Mountain Dew Baja Blast bottle. I get it. I'm with you. Let's pick up there, because I want to make a point about that too. And Earth Day is a great celebration of our Mother Earth. We are coming right back, ladies and gentlemen, with two more big stories, and one of them involves junk food. This is Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Network.
What a wonderful.
All right, we are back.
Hi, everybody on the live stream. Hello, everybody on the live stream.
Oh, we got, Tony Zimmerman.
What's that now?
What do you say?
100%.
No. He says Mike Clemens knows slightly more than Pete on sports. He's being facetious.
Very true. It's like he is the Jolt Cola of Civic Media Sports. You are the Mountain Dew, but he's the Jolt Cola.
That's still a lot more.
Yeah,
it's a lot more.
It just sounds
than
dangerous.
Mountain Dew.
We have a call. We have Jack on the phone line. We could take him after we. Cool.
Sure.
All right.
Yep. It was
Awesome.
talking about the question and also caffeine intake. So it works.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I totally butchered that Baja Blast bottle joke at the end there. that was my pizzas grow on trees joke moment on the show.
Oh, the pizza, yeah.
It's threatened species. People are like, what's going on with the Secret Happy Fun Show? No, we're all meditating, folks.
Yeah, sorry. I was reading an article. My
We're prepping.
Yeah, we're primping. Oh, there you go.
We have 25 seconds.
Okay.
24. Jesus.
How many now? How many now?
22. 21.
How many now?
Okay, no more. No more of that.
Oh.
Greg, you just got scolded by Domley.
That didn't feel good at all.
And my voice just cracked in the same. What's going on here today? Just makes me happy. Welcome back to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Pete Schwaba, coming to you live from Christmas City, USA, just up the coast from my partner, Greg Bach, who is joining us live from Radio Park in Racine, and Dom Lee, as he is affectionately called, is in Madison. So it's great to have you with us tonight. We're in the middle of our three big stories. Mike Clemens will be joining us in about 10 minutes to update us on all things Wisconsin sports, and it's going to be a good one. He's got some really cool information just for us. We have a call, though, Dom, before we get back to our news stories. Who do we have?
We have Jack from Merrimack. How's it going?
Hey, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Hey. Don't say that in the airport.
Oh, that was a good one, Jack.
Jack, is that why you called?
No, but I figured why pass up a great opportunity? Anyway, first of all, I absolutely love Jack Nicholson when he does his over-the-top roles, and I enjoyed him probably most. I think he played the devil in the Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when he played the Joker in Batman, he was just incredible.
Yeah.
So I really rate those as two of my favorite Jack Nicholson movies.
Noted, sir. Thank you. That's great.
Nice. Thank you very much, Jack. Yep.
The
What's
other
up, Jack?
thing was, can you hear me yet?
Yeah,
we can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. When Joe came out, I think their ad was something like all the sugar and twice the caffeine or something like that.
Yep.
And I remember seeing it. I remember seeing an analysis of the caffeinated sodas, and yep, they had a lot more caffeine than Pepsi or Coke. But the highest caffeine rated, both in percentage and total caffeine, if I recall correctly on those analyses, was Diet Mountain Dew, which is still, by the way, my drink of choice.
That's your drink of choice, Jack?
Oh, yeah. Got to keep his old bones going somehow.
You're like one of those guys who's like 102 years old, and they say, "What's your secret?" Like, I drink a pint of scotch and smoke a pack of Pall Malls. I drink Diet Mountain Dew and nothing else. Well, Jack, now I know your secret. I'm going to buy some on the way home tonight.
Absolutely. Jack, that's awesome, buddy. Thank you for the call, my friend.
Thank you so much, Jack. Appreciate it.
He was in mid-swig there of Diet
Yeah,
Mountain Dew.
exactly. He's bought and paid for by big diet soda.
I just want to say one thing before we move on to our second big story. We were talking about Earth Day right before the break, and I pulled up this article by ABC News that said, the stuff we have in place is working. Once threatened species are rebounding, the sea turtle, But then in the same article, it listed all these horrible things that are happening. And it said deforestation is continuing to occur at a rapid rate, including 16.6 million acres of tropical primary forests lost in 2024, equivalent to 18 soccer fields per minute, according to the World Wildlife Fund. Let that sink in, Greg. That's insane.
Again, like I have no problem recycling. I have no problem loving the earth, being careful, leaving things the way I found them. I really do. I believe that. But I also think that we need to really shift our focus to the big polluters, the ones who are basically, in my opinion, those are like crimes against humanity, the way they are harming the earth. But, that's for our elected officials to take care of, not a radio guy in Racine. So shall we move on to story 2?
Yes, please.
All right.
The second big story.
Go ahead, Greg.
No, I'm go ahead. It's a story coming out of Yahoo News.
Reuters is where I saw this about they want to reclassify weed. The United States administration. The United States administration, what the hell does that mean? Is expected to move to reclassify marijuana as soon as Wednesday, according to Axios, citing a familiar source within the matter. We had some debate about this. It's still not legal in Wisconsin, so it doesn't really matter what they call it or how they declassify it. But I thought that the president was against this at some point, like you said, but we couldn't really find it.
No. So looking back, and with the help of senior producer Tucker, he looked at it. At best, Donald Trump has been wishy-washy on this. He has, the government has tried to make illegal, well, they have made illegal hemp-derived products that's supposed to be taking effect at the end of this year, which will have a huge effect on Wisconsin businesses who sell hemp-derived products. He has been back and forth with his own Justice Department back in his first term about, easing marijuana enforcement. It's just, he hasn't said like we're going to get, he blows with the wind, honestly.
Right.
And this just reminds me of the Rogan story from yesterday, where simply he just wants to be popular. He wants to be cool. And he's going to say, yeah, we're going to do this. For decades, again, I'm going to make this point, for decades, we had experts, doctors, vets, folks who suffer from mental illnesses who utilize marijuana for their their course of medication, for their way of keeping themselves in a good place, and have been told systematically by specifically Republican leaders, but there's a lot of politicians out there who's like, no, can't do that, with a whole host of reasons. And now the president's like, yeah, let's do it.
It's like with the tipping issue. It's just like you said, blowing with the wind, wanting to be popular, and he wants to be invited to Joe Rogan's next sleepover. That's why he fast-tracked.
Oh my gosh, it's so infuriating. I want marijuana to be legal.
Yeah,
especially in Wisconsin. But it just feels this doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere, honestly, because he just signs a piece of paper with his weird signature, and who knows what will happen. He just wants that adulation in the moment. But this has real long-term effects, benefits, consequences. But again, decades of research and testimony from people who need this, who have expertise in it, and they got the no. And the president goes, no, okay, let's go for it. Meh. So infuriating.
Let's see if we can squeeze in really quick our last story.
Okay.
The third big story.
Greg, it's very simple. If you watch videos on junk food, you're less likely to eat them. Researchers call it cross-modal satiation. Basically, your brain gets enough satisfaction from seeing the food that you don't have to actually eat it. I'd like to believe that. I really would.
Yeah, I don't think that's true at all either. I've watched plenty of things on. Sure, why not? Let's believe that together.
Let's do that. Let's
all believe that together.
Let's watch an iHas Cupquake video later. And all right, we're coming right back, folks. Mike Clemens is here after the news. It doesn't get any better than that. This is Nite Lite with Peach Schwaba and Greg Bach.
There we go. That's interesting. I didn't realize that our text line was sponsored. Huh.
Text line.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay.
For the whole network? Or
for WMDX. I responded to AJ and Madison really quick.
Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting. Man, Chicago's such a good band.
Their like timeline or chronology is so incredible with how they've managed to stay relevant. Mm-hmm. And I know people go, I don't like the ballads.
Oh, wait, do you see this? No, Mike has got a different phone number.
Who?
Mike Clemens. He just sent it to. He just sent an email of the actual. Okay. It's a landline, and it's the hotel and his hotel. I'm not going to say the number or the room number, but yeah, it's right there.
Okay. He loves that place.
Jack from Merrimack must have had another Diet Mountain Dew. He's sending us text messages. He's calling. He's all hyped up, baby. Wait. There you go. Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I miss you guys already. Bye. Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. You can always get in touch with us, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on our live stream. We're currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform we still call Twitter. Still ahead, we are going to be talking to Martine Alvarado from the Madison Central Library about all the great things happening not only at the Madison Library, but what's going on maybe at your library. So stick around for that. We have the nightcap going to wrap everything up as usual, and we're going to get to our question of the night. It's Jack Nicholson's birthday. What's your favorite Jack Nicholson movie? Leave a comment on the live stream. Send us a text, give us a call, let us know, just like Jack from Merrimack did. But right now, it's time to welcome back to the program our friend, our buddy, the sports guru, the sports authority, Mr. Mike Clemens. How are you this evening, Mr. Mike Clemens? What's going on?
Good, Greg. Good, Pete. Of course, Cuckoo's Nest. About Schmidt. That was a pretty good Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
Remember that one? Here's one. Here's a recommendation. It came out at the same time as Cuckoo's Nest. It's called The Passenger, and Jack plays a reporter who's in Africa doing a documentary and just kind of gets tired with his life, and some businessman dies, so he switches identities. He finds out, though, the identity that he's picked up is a guy selling arms, and now guys are chasing after him. It's a really, really good.
Oh, my gosh. How have I not seen
It's
that?
called The Passenger. Yeah, it was a small film, but it's like I was blown away. It just showed how good that guy was coming off of Cuckoo's Nest. So that.
Wow.
But before I forget, I'm driving home around midnight, 1, 2 a.m. from these stadiums, and so I hear the playback on the network of you guys' shows. That interview you guys did with the Mayor of Madison, Rhodes Conway, excellent. I learned so much more stuff about Madison going on. Good stuff, boys. Good stuff.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Sir. Thank you so much. Wow. And you know what? That means the world coming from you, because you are a guy who's been doing radio for so long, and the fact that you enjoy what we're doing, that means a lot. So appreciate the compliment, and you are fantastic as always. I mean, it goes without saying, but yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. So got some sad news today.
Yeah.
If you could join me on game day at Lambeau Field, it's pretty cool because you walk in the door, and then there's the technicians, and then there's the cameraman, and they've got their cameras on their shoulders and dragging some cord behind them, and you're trying not to trip, Or here comes the chain gang, right? The guys with the first down sticks, and get that stick out of my eye. You're going to poke me in the head there with that thing. You got to walk behind them, and then the referees, and they look like zebras. I mean, it's almost like being backstage at the circus. Here comes Wayne Larrabee and Larry McCarran in to do the radio broadcast, and then back in the day, it used to be the band.
Yeah.
And so, for years, through the history of the Packers, they had a band called the Lumberjacks, and then they changed that a little bit. And there was a guy named Lowell Ives who started playing with the band like in the 70s. And then in 1982, which is actually the first year I got in to cover Packers games as a kid shooting camera, they made Mr. Ives the director, and he became the musical director at UW Green Bay. So he's teaching by day, and he's got this. They said, instead of marches like Sousa marches, maybe you make it like a jazz thing. So they did a little Chicago, like you played earlier, or to come up with some own things. Anyway, Mr. Ives has passed away. He was 97 years old, but he was the director of that jazz combo. It used to be down on the sidelines in the south end zone on game day. And one of the things that he wrote, they still play today. And let's play that clip.
That's awesome. Does he get paid, or did he get paid every time they played that, Mike, or did he have some kind of an agreement to you?
No, the way it started was that little jazz combo was down there. Maybe 4 or 5 guys with a big trombone and a couple of microphones and little bandstands, and and football players running out of bounds, running into them. They got the stadium to do that.
Yeah.
So they would have the band mic'd, and then the fans would chant that.
Yeah.
So then they decided, well, listen, we can't have this band on the sidelines during the whole game anymore, but let's have you guys go in and record that, and we'll play it over the scoreboard. So that's how that all came about. Anyway, 97 years old, all those students that he instructed, one of his students was Lyle Mays, a great piano player, a kid that he kind of, he was out of Marinette, and he said, your improv is really good. Just keep working on that. He encouraged him. Lyle Mays, remember Pat Metheny, the Pat Metheny group?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lyle was Pat's keyboard player all those years when they were starting out. So,
and he was from Marinette, Mike?
Marinette, yeah.
And how do you spell Mays? Do you know?
Mays. It was he passed too a few years ago, like at 66. But yeah, he was with Pat Metheny, which when I started out in radio, one of my first jobs was public radio, and they played all that jazz back in the day.
Wow.
Pat Metheny and those guys, Leo Kottke and that kind of thing. So all comes around full circle. So we got the draft tomorrow night.
Okay. And where is that taking place this year?
Pittsburgh.
All right. And what do we see on the horizon? What are you looking at? What are the things we should keep our eyes out for? What are the things that the Packers are keeping their eyes out for?
Well, they don't pick now until Friday night, the 52nd pick overall. They've got 8 picks this year, 11 picks next year because of compensatory picks. You give up a free agent, then the league gives you back an extra pick or something the following year. They traded Rashawn Gary, their pass rusher. They got Micah Parsons back. Part of the reason they don't have a pick in the first round tomorrow night is that huge deal they did last summer with the Cowboys to bring Micah Parsons up from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's possible they may get a deal where they give up 2 picks to get 1 pick higher Friday night and go from 52 overall to maybe somewhere in the 40s. But speaking of, you guys talk about movies so much on this show, there was a great movie 7-8 years ago called Draft Day starring Kevin Costner.
Oh, my God. That's such a good movie.
It actually is. When it first came out, Greg, all the NFL and sports writers, cynical types, are like, oh, yeah, that's nothing real. And then some of the GMs like, no, it's actually closer than you think. It's more chaotic than it looks on TV. And that's a story where Kevin Costner is a GM of the Browns, and he does, kind of a cloak and dagger thing, and he pulls off a trade at the last minute. But it's like he's going to go after some quarterback who I think was from Wisconsin. Anyway, here's the deal. When you're on the clock, you've done all this preparation. You've got all these scouting reports. You've put together a board, and they order the players the way you should think. And then you wait for your pick to come up, and then you look at your board and say, this is the next best player available according to our math, according to our calculations. But, what about what's in your gut? And Brian Gutekunst says at the end of the day, you can measure a guy and how fast he runs, how strong he is. We've watched all his tape as a player. But not only does he love football, does he need football?
Yeah.
In other words, after we pay him the first $10 or $15 million, he can't wait to get on the field. So I asked Gutekunst about this yesterday in his pre-draft press conference.
Brian, how much has the NIL era affected your ability to determine the question, this guy needs football? And secondly, when's the last time you looked at tape of Matthew Golden before you picked him that night?
First question, I do think, quite frankly, the NIL has exposed some of that with some of these guys earlier maybe than it would have if they weren't making money. We've always really leaned on, tried to lean on guys, trying to find guys that love football, that it's more about, the competition of the game more than anything else, what comes with it. So in some ways, with these guys having the resources they have and us kind of knowing how they're using those resources and what they're doing with it can provide some insight into the guy. At the same time, they're 21, 22, 23, and if we all had that money at that age, who knows what we'd be doing, right? So I think you got to be careful of judging them too much. But I've always thought, you combine the tape kind of DNA and how they play the game with what we find out about them, we'll tell you usually, how much they love being out there and how competitive they are, and that's most important. And then your second question, I think I'll watch tape on a few guys here and there over the course of these few days now, but it's just usually just to shore something up. But with Matthew, I think it was probably a week before the draft when I was done watching him. So he wasn't a hard one.
Our guest is Mike Clemens. He is our sports authority here at Civic Media. He joins us tonight to talk all things Wisconsin sports. Mike, that was a great answer by the Packers GM, but a great question. It's just, what are the Packers' needs? What do you think they'll target when it comes around to round 2?
I think their needs are offensive line. I think they need depth at the offensive line. They gave up 2 players, including Elton Jenkins, that moved down in free agency. And Zach Tom, their starting right tackle, had injuries most of last year. Now he's back They say okay from surgery. We'll see if he's actually ready for the start of the season. But they need a little bit more depth on the offensive line to back them up because they ran into troubles in that playoff game that they lost to the Bears down in Chicago. And then, in terms of the two receivers that left in free agency, Romeo Doubs signed a $39 million deal guaranteed with the Patriots. The Packers were never going to pay that. They traded Dontavian Wicks, their third or fourth best receiver, to the Eagles and to pick up a couple of these picks that they lost in a Micah Parsons trade. So, they'll get another receiver, and, no big deal. But they're coming back, with Christian Watson, with Jaden Reed, and then Matthew Golden, their first-round pick from last year. This will be his second year, and now the spotlight will be on him. So, I think one of the things that don't be surprised if they try and address backup offensive line.
Okay. Before we go to our break, Doc Rivers has stepped down as head coach of the Bucs. We know that's happening, and Giannis released a tweet this week that seemed like he was staying. He talked about being a Phoenix as far as like the city and the team and himself. What is the news? I mean, I feel like half the conversations we talk about when it comes to the Bucs is half is their record, the other half is Giannis staying. So, what are you hearing from the Bucs organization? Your sources?
Doc wasn't fired. I mean, look, when he found out that he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, he's done. I don't need to coach anymore. I'm in, man. I can go golfing now. And also, the Bucs are a mess. And I don't think he wanted to be there anymore because he could see that the owners aren't talking, Giannis isn't talking. Listen to what Doc Rivers basically saying, nice people, the Bucs. Giannis, great kid. People need to talk to each other. Listen to this.
I don't know about the whole trade thing. This is where I struggle. I'm being honest with you. Like, what if a guy wants to stay where he's at? He's won a title and he wants to play his whole career there. Like, what's wrong with that? I look at like Joker. If Joker never wins again, should he leave? Curry, yeah, he would never do that. He wants to play and be a Golden State Warrior. And if Giannis did decide that and the front office decided that, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the only thing that bothered me during the season and during the summer about it. It's like no one has asked Giannis, what do you want? And that's where you hear one side he wants to leave, one side he wants to stay. I mean, I don't know if he's made up his mind either way yet, but that's not exactly what's said every day. We talk about a lot of stuff, and I just think that I think he has this thing about him that he would love to like, what did he say on the trade deadline day? I just know it's not as cut and dry as people try to make it out to be, and it's not as easy of a situation as people think it is.
That's the voice of Doc Rivers. Compliments of our guest, Mr. Mike Clemens. We will break down what the former Milwaukee Bucks coach said. He was not fired. I keep thinking he was too, but Mike is right. He was not fired. But we'll break that down, that clip, when we come back, and we'll get into some Brewer talk with our guest, Mr. Mike Clemens. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
All right, we are back, guys. We are back.
We're back?
Already. It's really quick.
Yeah, it's a very quick commercial break there. Wow.
We're back in.
The last one wasn't, and I still spaced out.
Pete, you asked before about birthdays when we were on Wise Brothers. Great list.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I don't use that one. I go to this stupid it's just terrible.
It's from the what to the O and to the and there's a bunch of people who have died too. So, but yeah, it's that one. I use that one all the time for the other shows. So
beautiful.
Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna grab some water. I will be right back.
All right, guys, we got 2 minutes.
I get it. Welcome back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. Great to have you with us on this Wednesday night as we talk about, oh my gosh, Jack Nicholson. We're going to talk books in hour number 2 with our favorite librarian from Madison. And right now we've got a few minutes with our pal, Civic Media Sports Authority, Mike Clemens. We listened to a clip from Doc Rivers that Mike shared with us right before the break. Some kind of parting shots at the Bucks, maybe, Mike?
Well, I think he's just calling it as he sees it, and I think Doc does that. There's sometimes that people say that Doc Rivers is kind of a phony and it's never his fault. No, I've been watching him since he was a player, and he tells it like it is sometimes. And and he did as a coach. And I'll tell you, when you get into those NBA circles, man, it is such a soap opera. And you got these players that, Giannis, he's got 2 brothers on the roster that have no business being there, but they get all these demands. So the last time I was around Giannis was the night before he had the extended knee injury, and it's the same old Giannis. He's this unbelievably dedicated athlete that gets there early, stays late. He's got the ice bags on with timers on for 30 minutes on, and he just wants to play. But the world gets more complicated than that. And then I talked to a buddy of mine that I know is in contact with the Giannis camp, if you will, the agents. I mean, they're at levels like, well, if he decides to move, we could go Orlando or we could go New York Knicks. And if he goes to Orlando, there's no tax there. So he'd be saving himself 13% income tax as opposed to going to the Knicks. I mean, these are the conversations these people are having. And at some point, Wes Edens and Jimmy Haslam, the owners, need to sit this kid down at 31 and say, what do you want? Okay? Either sign and stay, or we'll send you to wherever you want to go. What do you want? And that's what this franchise needs to do.
Yeah, this is like the for me, like, anyone who knows me, basketball isn't my big thing, but like, it's always interesting, especially, and you're not wrong when it comes to Doc Rivers. One thing I always appreciated about him when I'd listen to his interviews was, if they lost, they'd say, what do you think happened? He'd be like, we lost. They played better than we did. Next question. Yeah. I'm like, cool. Right. Yeah. No need to philosophize. No need to pontificate. It's exactly at the end of the game. Who has more points? They won. That's why they lost, because they won. So there you go.
Well, and I mean, I've covered them in between Packers and Brewers, and coming to Madison and checking out Luke Fickell and what's going on with the Badgers over there. But he recognized me and started coming over to me every once in a while, like, how do you think this is playing? I mean, he's very open that way, and it's not like he's working me. He wants that input. And so when you see those kinds of things, and the staff that's following him around, that's a leader, right? And he walks into that situation, and he looks at Giannis over there, good kid. He looks at owners that are trying their best, but they need counseling. They need counseling.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Mike, we have about 2 or 3 minutes left. I want to get to some Brewers talk with you. They had a 6-game skid. Have they turned it around? It would seem so. Greg's beloved Brewers, give them something to be happy about here.
And part of that, they were Washington Nationals, who sort of beat them at their own game during that losing streak with, small ball and bunts, and short hits and things like that. And so, the kind of the light went on with Pat Murphy saying, I'm missing 2 of my best hitters in Churio and Andrew Vaughn, and now Yelich is out until maybe Memorial Day with this groin injury. We got to do the same thing. And they actually won a couple of games doing that. Then last night they just unloaded on the Tigers. And some of these moves that they've made in the off season, like, did you see that Devin Williams, the ace, that the closer that they had a couple of years ago that went for big money for the Yankee or to the Mets, and now they've lost 12 games in a row. The ridiculous money that is being spent with some of those teams. Corbin Burns, whatever happened to him after he went to the Orioles? And look at these young pitchers they got. They got Quinn Priester coming back on rehab in Nashville now, and they're getting through, with Brandon Woodruff, staying loyal to him, and these other young pitchers they've got. And then they're bringing in players like when they made that trade with the Red Sox. This David Hamilton, he went 4 for 4 last night. Dude's fast on the bases.
Yeah.
And they've moved him over to shortstop because Ortiz can't get a hit. It's just Matt Arnold continues to make these moves that are pretty amazing, and in these trades. And then there's Pat Murphy, who last week it was Jackie Robinson Day. Everybody's wearing number 42. And somebody asked him about his favorite players going. He said, Maury Wills, Luke Brock, Hank Aaron. And I said, how about Bob Gibson, the pitcher from the Cardinals? Bob Harlan, the former Packer, worked with him. And Euchre was down there, too. And he goes, Bob Gibson. He says, I just used Bob Gibson this morning. Okay, the meeting was over. I went upstairs and I asked Adam McKelvey, who's a beat reporter, so you mean to tell me this guy manages baseball 15 hours a day and then he's playing baseball video games in the morning? He goes, Mike, he does it with his kids, okay? He lets his kids play contemporary players like Mike Trout or whatever, and then he plays the classic players so they get to know the Hall of Famers. Oh, okay, he's playing baseball video games with his kids. That's different. That's okay, because I thought we had a problem here.
Well, one thing the Brewers definitely took a tumble to the bottom of the division last week, and it was weird. They were at the bottom, but they were also tied with the Cardinals and the Cubs essentially. But one thing I really loved was last week when Trevor McGill was not playing up to the fan standards. Pat Murphy did not hold back, and he told them, look, he pitches great for you guys and you love it. And he has one bad game and you boo him. That's not good. That's not fair. Knock it off. I'm like, Father has spoken.
Hey, be honest. Just tell the fans they're nuts.
Yeah.
Back off.
Yeah.
And McGill had a great night the next night, and that's what you want is that honesty. And look how those guys then will turn around and they will play for a guy who's looking out for them. Yeah, that's what makes the difference. Absolutely.
Yep.
Mike, great stuff as always, my friend. Have a great night and enjoy the draft or whatever you're doing this weekend. I'm sure you'll be fixated on the draft though as well. Great stuff, and please come back soon.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. All right. That's the great Mike Clemens. When we come back, we're going to read your texts after the news. The question of the night is, it is Jack Nicholson's birthday. He's 89. What is your favorite Jack Nicholson movie or role? Be part of the show, folks. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
All right. We are back.
I just want like a nice little fan here that just not like a little Brewers fan, like a person. I mean, like a child.
a fan waving its towel.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like if we have it in the budget, if someone could just like stand here and just like, peel grapes and feed them to me and like, but like, it's just, this room has no movement with air. So it's like you close the doors for not even privacy, just like I like the feeling of a closed room. But then all of a sudden you just feel all of like it's just like, oh, it's so warm.
Sticky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when the air doesn't like that is probably worse than anything. Is like there's hot, but then when there's no movement and it feels like there's moisture or humidity. There's no humidity. It's just nothing's moving. Sorry, it's just gross.
I actually have a space heater on. The kind that doesn't.
I don't know why you have a space, dude. I cannot believe you. It's still space heater weather in Marinette.
Dude, I don't pull the flannel sheets off the bed till early June. We have like 2-level house. When you walk in, you're kind of on the ground floor, so it's always more chilly down here. And it's also about 15 degrees cooler up here than it is down there. And we're right by the lake too, which is in the spring Let me just break it down here. I got a pie graph over here. I'll break it down.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay. So we have the water story as a backup in case we don't have, so we can do that. Cool deal. Cool deal.
How is the text? Let me see.
Pretty good. It's okay.
Not a ton on social media, maybe 5 or on Facebook, maybe 5 or 6.
And AJ from Madison said, keep spreading the good word. Very nice.
Keep spreading the good word.
Very nice.
Okay. And we have a text from Jack regarding weed. Man, now like in my head, Jack was always like a mountaineering, rowing, running, doing like the gardening, like he's the picture of health. And now I just imagine him sitting on a couch watching YouTube, smoking a joint, drinking Diet Mountain Dew. Like it's my image of him is completely changed. And I'm not saying it's worse. I'm just saying it's different, folks.
Diet soda the studies on that are pretty dangerous.
Disgusting.
Really?
Yeah. It doesn't even taste good. That's the thing. Like Like if I drink a Coca-Cola, which I don't generally because I don't like Coca-Cola. I don't like the only sodas I drink are clear sodas from time to time, like a Sprite, maybe. And then root beer every once in a while. And I treat root beer like a piece of cake. It's like dessert.
Yeah.
But man, when people say like, "Oh, I love Diet Coke," I'm like, I don't understand how you can like the taste of that. It just tastes odd. And my grandma only had diet caffeine-free Coke in her house. And I remember she's like, "Do you want a soda?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I want a soda. I'm 12. Here you go."
Right.
I drank like, "Oh no, why don't you love me?"
Yeah, it's but the chemicals they put in, it's bad for you.
Yeah. It is. All of that. Come on, all that. There's no such thing as, honestly, I don't think there is a soda that's good for you, but the diet soda, it's just, no, thank you. No.
So Greg,
I agree, but I will say, I if I do have soda, aside from my Mountain Dew expedition today, I at least try to go for like the Mexican Cokes or the real sugar, the sugar cane. I mean, I just try to stay away from high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. I remember that was one of the best sketches on SNL. It wasn't a live one. It was a filmed one where they were talking like that back when high fructose corn syrup, which is a very fun sentence to say, came out, and people were like going crazy and saying how bad it was. And the sketch was basically like, yeah, if you drink a lot of it all the time, but sometimes a little bit is fine. And it was like, oh, yeah, right. It's like, oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like the fact that we have chemicals that are in our food that honestly other countries around the world are like, no, that can't be in our food. We care about our people. But yeah, it was that thing of like, it was something to lose our mind about, as we always do.
But it like the fact that it saves, I don't know. What 0.0001 cent per can? I know that adds up, but put real sugar in it. What are you putting more chemicals in that stuff for?
I don't. No, thank you. I mean, also, I say it all like, but then the food. I'm sure the food I eat, you could break down, and be like, hey, you know that some of this food is found in like furniture polish.
Right. Exactly. Or the yoga mats and the Subway buns.
That was. Oh my gosh. You're messing up when John Oliver does an entire episode about your place. And it's not only about Jared. It's about your food mainly.
I love John Oliver.
Me too.
That's why Jimmy John's better. All right, guys, we have about 40 seconds.
Parting shot.
This is like low key, like Jimmy John, baby. It's about turkey time.
Tom writes a little reminder for himself every show: work in Jimmy John's.
And if you can, right. The big arch.
For now, that's my keywords. All right, 20 seconds, guys.
Okay.
All righty.
Trying to make sense of the world? You've got Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Call our toll-free number now.
Headlines, culture, and real conversation.
And now, our feature presentation.
Here's Pete and Greg.
Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. We are coming to you live from all over the state. I am in Radio Park in Racine. Up the coast in Marinette, a.k.a. Christmas City, USA, is Mr. Pete Schwaba. And then all the way over in Madison at World Headquarters for Civic Media is Mr. Dom Lee. We make up the Yader Triangle, and we are happy you are joining us this evening. If you want to be part of the conversation, simply call or text. The number is the same, 855-752-4842, 855-75 Civic. Leave a comment on that live stream. We are currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform we still call Twitter. Still lots of great programming in our second hour. Coming up in just a little while after the 6:30 news, we will be welcoming back to the show Martin Alvarado, who is from the Madison Central Library, talking about all great things going on at the library, both in Madison and around the state. Last time he was here, he literally had like a list of 7 libraries in the Civic Media area where stuff was going on. So That'll be great. He'll be talking about all the things happening there and, give us some book recommendations as well. Then we'll be wrapping everything up with the nightcap, so don't go anywhere. Stick around. Have some fun. And also, if you want to contact us via the Civic Media app, you can do that as well. Download the app wherever you get those apps, and then you can call, text, leave a voice message. You can listen to shows live all over the world, maybe even in space.
What?
That's my goal.
Wow.
My goal is to get the Civic Media app on an astronaut's phone and just say, look, just tune in for a minute. Give me a minute. I'll take a minute. And that's what I want. I want to hear someone on a space shuttle or the ISS before they take it down to say, we listen to Civic Media in space. I will be the happiest boy in Puppet Land. You have no idea. But still, you can always be part of the conversation by downloading the Civic Media app. So, good first hour, guys. I learned a lot about sports.
Did you?
I always learn so much about Do you know why I learned a lot about sports? Because as Tony on the live stream put it, Mike Clemens knows slightly more than Pete about sports. So it's always good having them both here as just giving me all the information I need.
Mike Clemens' pinky knows more about sports than Pete Schwaba.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll put that on a can of Jolt Cola. Yeah. Don't know the reference, folks? Go back to civicmedia.us/shows and listen to back catalog of our programs. You can do that anytime you'd like. That's called a plug. All right. Let us get to the question of the night. Let's restate the question of the night and get to our text messages and hear from the people tonight.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question. Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
Happy birthday, Mr. Jack Nicholson, 89 years old. It is his birthday, so the question is, what is your favorite Jack Nicholson movie? Let us know. Drop a comment. Send us a text. Give us a call. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Dom, let us go to the text line. What are the people saying?
Let's do it. All right. We have Andrew from Maine. This is not totally related to the question, but he said Pete's nightcap / what he learned can be that Pete Wilson has a birthday today, and he is still alive despite the info from the celeb birthday site he uses tried to tell him.
Wait,
Pete
what?
Wilson, the former California governor?
Wait, what's happening right now? I have no idea. I feel like Dom and I have been totally wedged out of this part of the conversation. What?
Yeah. I don't
know what's going on either.
You might have said it at the very first initial start of the show.
I feel like my face.
Okay.
My face right now is a reason to watch the live stream because I am so confused.
Okay, so Andrew from Maine, Pete's nightcap. What he learned can be that Pete Wilson has a birthday today and is still alive despite info from the celeb birthday site he uses tried to tell him. Is Pete Wilson the former governor of California? That's the only Pete Wilson I think I know.
Yeah,
Andrew.
It says.
I'm taking Greg's recommendation though from now on, and I'm using the other site because you're right.
Yeah.
I don't need all these influencer birthdays.
That's what it was, yes.
Or Pete Wilson for that matter. So thank you though, Andrew.
And then Andrew also said Jack Nicholson movies. His limited screen time in A Few Good Men is iconic. But perhaps my favorite is the movie he did with Helen Hunt, displaying some quirky traits that would be considered neurodivergent these days. And then he said, "As Good as It Gets" is the movie I was thinking of. So
I love that he sent the text, couldn't remember, and then he's like, "Neuro." That's just very, very funny to me. I once saw a stage play of A Few Good Men, and it was fantastic. And we got to the point in the play where it was the most famous part of the movie. And you ask yourself, well, when this line comes up is one of the most clipped pieces of film in the past, 20, 30 years when they always want the greatest films, blah, 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 all that kind of thing. And you're like, how is he going to deliver that? Is he going to do it exactly like Jack Nicholson? Or is he going to do, and he did it in a way, I wish I remembered his name. He's an actor. He's a local actor in Wisconsin. He did it in a way where he said it and brought absolutely no attention to it, really. In fact, it's that thing of, instead of because in the movie, he screams it. So of course you're like, oh, good Lord. He says it in a way that is so bone chilling. As if to say, everything from this character's experience has seen so much horrific, everything from war to bureaucracy to whatever. The way he said it made you go, oh, this is more it was more disturbing than watching Jack Nicholson scream it, because he just said it as a matter of fact in a way of you'll never understand because you'll never see what I've seen. And I'm like, oh, wow, it was pretty amazing. I still think about that to this day, that this guy read that line better than Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, it's interesting because Aaron Sorkin wrote it started as a play before they made it a movie. And what you're saying, Greg, reminds me of Brian Cox's Hannibal Lecter compared to Anthony Hopkins. And Anthony Hopkins is great. There's no question about that. But Brian Cox was so chilling and eerie and read it a different. You know what I think we should do? Let's all give our interpretation. Let's say you can't handle the truth like we would say it if we were Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. Who wants to go first?
Let's go with Dom.
Dom.
You can't handle the truth.
You said it like a Santa Claus. That sounded like a Santa Claus who's trying to make a kid understand why he's on the naughty list.
I'm not good at that.
Oh, you can't handle the truth.
All right, I'll go
Pete.
next.
Yeah, go
all
ahead.
right, okay, about this. Let's sing You Can't Handle the Truth.
Wow.
I said it very like I was at like a family Sunday dinner talking to a child. So that's why I'm not an actor.
Again, another interpretation, talking to a child. Interesting.
Right. All right, Greg, you're up.
All right, here we go. Me. I. Lemon face, lion face. Lemon face, lion. Okay, I'm preparing here. You can't handle the truth. There you go.
You all did.
That's how I did it.
They casted the right guy, apparently. We never made it into the auditions.
Yeah, there you go. I guess.
We had our own takes. I think that's okay.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. What else we have on the text line here?
Yeah, we have Anna from Madison said, "Hi, Pete and Greg. My favorite Jack Nicholson character is Garrett Breedlove in terms of endearment. He and Shirley MacLaine were great together. He won a Best Supporting Oscar for that role."
He's won 3 Oscars.
Wow.
Is he a 3 Oscar guy?
He's a 3 Oscar guy.
3 Oscar guy.
Wow, those are rare.
Well, really quick here, Pete. What about you? What is a movie that really you enjoy?
It's without question to me, Chinatown. Love his playing Jake Gittes, just outstanding, and a great movie too, written by Robert Towne. And I also like The Last Detail, where he and Randy Quaid are they're transporting a prisoner, and they're 2 Navy guys. It's just a great performance, underplayed by Nicholson. Like everybody thinks of his big roles, The Shining, and You Can't Handle the Truth, but a very subtle actor when he needs to be. That's why he's so
It's
great.
also amazing that Randy Quaid used to be somebody we were like, yeah, and now we're like, oh no. I love him in Little Shop of Horrors, the original, the black and white version.
Wow, nice pull.
That is a dark film. That is a dark film. And what's funny, and I'll get a little movie nerdy right now. So the original version, sorry, spoilers, but the film is like 65 years old.
Yeah, you've had your chance.
The original version of the movie with Jack Nicholson in it, at the end of the movie, Audrey 2 wins. Audrey 2 eats Seymour, and like that's it. Here's the fun fact: we all know the Rick Moranis, Ellen Green, Steve Martin, Bill Murray vehicle of like 1986, and if you've seen it, you know how it ends. Except that's not how it was supposed to end. They actually spent $1 million to film the ending where Audrey 2 not only wins, she brings in all of her alien cousins and whatnot, and they take over Earth. That's the end of the movie originally. And they said it was one of the most depressing endings. People were so angry that they had to spend more money to change it into we did it, we made it, we're hand in hand in love. And that was the original version of Little Shop of Horrors. Audrey wins. And that to me is like mind-blowing because I saw that movie as a kid. And
so what year was that?
The Rick Moranis one?
No. The Nicholson one.
That was, I think, like 1960 something. Let me look it up here.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Dom, can you pull Suddenly Seymour, the song?
Absolutely.
Black and white. That one came out in 1960. Yeah, it's 66 years old. It's a Roger Corman movie. And if I'm not mistaken.
So Nicholson was probably like 20?
It was pointed as like, remember like when Leprechaun came out like back in the late 80s and nothing happened, and then Friends came out and they reissued the video boxes to say starring Jennifer Aniston because she's in that movie before she made it big. They did the same thing with Jack Nicholson. We're like featuring the first film of Jack. Like, okay, all right, calm down,
Genius.
Yeah.
We got another one there, Dom, from Melissa. We haven't heard from Melissa on Willie Street in a while.
Melissa.
Yeah, she said, "Hi there, boys. My favorite Jack Nicholson movie has to be my all-time favorite movie, Terms of Endearment."
That is
There you go.
Great movie.
Oh my gosh, that movie's just built to destroy you from top to bottom.
Absolutely.
My goodness gracious. Ooh.
Brutal.
Dom, did you say? Oh wait, what's up? You got something? You're pointing at the screen.
There's also John Murray from Madison just texting in now. He said, "The Shining is my fave, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, he always sells it." That's my favorite too.
Do Tyler's text. That's a good one.
Oh, we have Tyler from Wisconsin Rapids. "There once was a nurse named Ratchet who
Can we
stared
say
with
this?
cleave
Can we
like
say
a
this?
hatchet.
Okay.
All she oversaw felt the grip of her claw till Murphy's Law came along to match it." Perfect. Okay.
Well, I mean, we're going to hear more poetry from Martine later, so
That's
this is
right.
great.
We should share
I love
that
it. I love it. But yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, Dom, did you say? I can't remember. Did you say whether or not there was a favorite for you? I mean, are you a bit? I mean,
Yep. I like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for sure. I also read the book, so that helped too.
Look at you, man.
Okay. Wow, look at this. God really did his research. My goodness.
Jeez.
My name is Dom. I love Jimmy John's and I read.
We just got another one from our pal John Murray, who says, "Hard not to love an actor that sells it so hard that he really becomes the character." Yeah, that's definitely.
In the time we have left, Pete, you are a writer, director, producer, actor. How do you feel about the whole going method thing? Like, do you like it? Like, have you worked with people who do the thing of call me by my character's name, treat me like I will talk? They will talk like their character. Or they have to stay in character all the time. Have you experienced that?
I haven't. I kind of respect any method that gets an actor to where they need to be, even though I might think it's a little nuts or whatever. But I don't. I think it's interesting. There's a great movie called Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman and Laurence Olivier, and Laurence Olivier plays a war criminal. And they were on the set together, and Dustin Hoffman stayed up for 3 days in a row to prepare for a guy who looked like he hadn't slept for 3 days. And Laurence Olivier said, "You should learn how to act, dear boy. Then you wouldn't have to put your body through such hell." And it's a great quote.
Well, we're going to take a really short break. When we come back, we're going to ask a really quick question. Are you drinking enough water? And if you're not, why? Is it because you don't like the flavor of water? You're going to have to find out more when we come back. And then we're going to be talking to Martine Alvarado from the Madison Library. So don't go anywhere. You are listening to Martine. Listening and what did I say?
I was just giving him a shout out.
Okay. I thought. Okay.
Sorry.
You are listening and or watching Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network.
That's a great tip. Sorry, Greg. The Mountain Dew kicked in, and
that's right. There's that documentary that came out years ago about Don Rickles, Mr. Warmth. He tells a story similar to what you were talking about with regard to acting, and he was in a movie. I think it was Clark Gable and possibly Peter Lawton. It took place on a submarine. I can't remember the name of it right now, but he said one actor said to him, "You got to go around the ship, feel the ship. Get to know the ship, be a part of the ship." And I guess Clark Gable was like, "Stand where they tell you to stand, say your lines. That's it. Just do it." I love listening to actors go back and forth on method versus just hey, just know the lines, have a point of view, and do the job. I think that's what I would be more of. I just can't. The idea of call me Mr. President. No, right. I couldn't do that with a straight face.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I'm like, whatever works, I guess.
I mean, yeah, but I guess for me, the thing is if it works for you, great. But when it gets in the way of other people's acting, you look at the stories of Jared Leto doing the Joker in the Suicide Squad, he was just a horrible human being to them. And I get if you want to be in that space, but also it shouldn't impede the people who are around you. And you shouldn't, I don't know, I go back and forth. I feel like it's just maybe it's the Wisconsin in me that's I want you to call me by my character's name and I will only do the accent. And okay, cool. I just wanted to get your lunch order, sir, please. And thank you.
Right. Suddenly see.
All right, guys, we have 25 seconds. 25 seconds.
It's not enough time.
Drums, please. Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. You can always get in touch with us, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on the live stream. We are currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform we still call Twitter. Always get in touch with us. Text, call, or send a voice message through the Civic Media app if you'd like. Still ahead, Mr. Martin Alvarado is coming back to the show to talk about all things library. He's from the Madison Central Library. He'll be talking about what's going on this month, what's going on in the area of the Madison Library, and he may have some information on a library near you. And plus, as always, we wrap things up with the nightcap, so don't go anywhere. We are going to have some fun this evening. So there's a story that came out that now I sort of just lost, and I apologize, totally unprofessional of me, about water consumption and the fact that, what was the number? It was like 37% of people do not drink enough water, Pete?
Yeah, 37% are water snobs. And it says we are picky about our water to the point where 37% of us don't like it. A new survey found that 2,000 adults found that we have very strong opinions about what water we drink. 65% say they're picky, and more than half claim they can tell what kind of water they're drinking without being told. And I'm like, so what? First of all, it's water. I know some of it tastes better. There's bottled, there's like Fiji and Evian and Perrier and San Pellegrino and all that. There's tap water. I mean, I got on the water train about 5 years ago. Okay. So it's not fun. And I had this conversation recently with my mom. She doesn't like water, but she drinks a ton of tea. I just started drinking like 100 ounces a day and my body is adjusted, but I literally stand at the sink every couple hours and I'll have 2 glasses of 12 ounce. I can't sip it because I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. It doesn't particularly taste great unless you're parched. So I kind of force myself to drink it just because of the health benefits. But I don't know. Do you guys drink water?
All the time.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you drink it, but I mean, do you drink enough?
Well, this goes... You asked the question, buddy. We answered it that's what they say in law school. They say when they ask a question, what time, do you know what time it is? You say, yes. You don't say what time it is. You say, yes. You asked the question. We answered it.
Don't play lawyer ball with me, Greg.
It goes back, though, to the conversation we had, I believe, with the gentleman, Herman, last name, can't remember.
Evolutionary anthropologist.
It's about finding your balance, about what is good for you with the water you need to take in. Now, I understand, does everyone need to drink 8 glasses of water a day? Probably not. That feels very, very loosey-goosey for a population of 8+ billion people. But also this whole thing of I'm picky with my water. Okay, what?
Yeah,
I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna call a location in Wisconsin out. And I apologize to our bosses that we might get in trouble. We won't. Brookfield has terrible tasting water. And I know when I'm drinking Brookfield water because it all tastes the same, but I still drink it. But when people say there's Evian and I don't like Evian, it's like, you're not impressive when you tell me that you can tell this $3 bottle of water from this $3 bottle of water. Put a little flavoring in there, get a Soda Stream. Oh my gosh.
Lemon.
Oh my gosh, Pete, get yourself a Soda Stream. It will change your life. You will drink the water. It is super tasty and it's not super sugary. In fact, I don't think it's any sugar at all. It's like natural flavorings, but yes, Soda Streams are amazing. It'll get you to drink water. Yeah.
Here's what so we drink a lot of seltzer water in this house. We have been for about 10 years. We're probably spending $50 a week on seltzer, just like the 12 packs. You can get the bubbly or Klarbrunn or whatever. We get the stuff from Aldi, which is cheaper and tastes really good. But I looked into getting a machine that you make your own seltzer water. That was really expensive. So
really?
Kind of, yeah. It was more and a hassle. These you just pop out and it's really easy, but yeah, water is expensive. So I started recently and it's going to get more expensive. So I just started recently just drinking the tap water. As far as I know, here in Christmas City, we have pretty clean tap water. So I'm okay with that.
And see, that's great. I mean, Dom, you always have yours by the ready, so you're good to go, right?
I always have Brita. I use Brita water. It's just,
Your generation is great about it. You guys carry around gallon jugs, and I can't even. My kids do that too, and I'm like, I just wouldn't want to carry that around. I'll just go to the sink and drink it, and that's it.
So, Pete, let me ask you a really quick question. You said you spend $50 a week for seltzer water?
Ish, yeah.
A SodaStream basic pack, like with the machine, with the bottle, and one CO2 canister, which, by the way, when you trade them in, you get them half off if you go to a place that sells them, $60.
Yeah, but you got to make it yourself. How long does it take to make?
Like 4 seconds.
No, but it doesn't it? Like when I was looking at those, you get it and then you have to make it, and it makes a certain amount. It just, I can't remember exactly why. It seemed like it was more hassle than it's worth.
I will say this: it's going to save you money in the long run with like 2 purchases. In 2 weeks, it will save you money, and you will drink the same seltzer water. And you will use less like recycles. You won't have these bottles sitting around or anything like that. You will. I think it's a great idea. I have one at home. I absolutely love it. But do your thing, Jelly Bean.
Listen,
I'm just glad you're drinking. I'm just glad you're drinking water. That's what
I'm going to come over. I'd like you to get a couple waters ready. We'll have them. Dom, swing by if you like. Bring a Jimmy John's and we'll compare and contrast. I'm not opposed to it. Maybe I'll break down and make my own water.
Maybe we'll get one. When's your birthday, buddy? When's your birthday?
It was a couple weeks ago and nobody remembered. I just made it really tough.
Well, it's
next year I'll come over for water. It's not too much to ask for water on your birthday. Right? So we'll go. Dom, I'll pick you up. We'll get this Yadar Hay Triangle thing. I'll pick you up. We'll road trip to Radio Park or to Kenosha, and we'll have ourselves some waters.
All right.
You leave that jug of yours at home, buddy, because Greg's springing. He's popping for waters.
All right. Well, on that note, when we come back after the 6:30 news, we'll be talking to Martin Alvarado from the Madison Central Library. All Great Things Library. We'll talk poetry, book recommendations, and what's happening at your library. You might find out he makes a list that's always comprehensive. Don't go anywhere. You are listening and or watching Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. Stay tuned and stay close.
I like to hear some funky Dixieland, pretty mama gonna take me by the hand.
That was hilarious. Dom.
Yeah.
That whole last part with the
water.
Yeah. Yeah. With the SodaStream, him saying his birthday. That's all. Yes. Yes.
Perfect. All right. All right. I'm going to let Martin in. I'll be right back.
Okay, great. All right, I will be right back.
Okay.
Let me know. I'm going to start talking. Let me know if you can hear me, okay? You can hear me?
Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. You can always get in touch with us, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on that live stream. We are currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform we still call Twitter. Still ahead, we've got the Nightcap wrapping it all up, finding out what we've learned and the friends we've made along the way, which is always the important part. And also, you can call, text, leave a voice message, or listen live anywhere in the world by downloading the Civic Media app. Download it wherever you get your apps. It is absolutely free. All right, our next guest, he needs no introduction because he's a friend of the show. He's back. He is the Community Engagement Librarian, Business and Technology at the Madison Central Library. Martin Alvarado is back on the show. Good afternoon/evening, Martin. How are you today?
I am doing wonderful because it just feels like spring, and after all these storms and everything, just having a few nice days is just a joy to be out there. And it's still sunny, and the show's on, so that's always a good sign. Always
there you go.
Good mood. Everything's peachy.
I love that outlook, that attitude. I couldn't agree more. We had 45 minutes of really dark, stormy rain yesterday, and then the clouds came away. Bright sunshine again. I'm like, that's the spring I need. So,
and we didn't get hit over the head yesterday with a baseball, some unfortunate people did.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had I believe senior producer Tucker had some hail issues as well. Yeah, that's oh boy.
So anyway, best wishes to everyone who's just dealing with the aftermath because it's been quite the few days here.
I agree. Martin, you are here tonight. You are here monthly, talking about the library in Madison, the libraries around the state, but it is National Poetry Month. Why don't we start there?
Yeah, so let's start there. It's 30 years of National Poetry Month. I think it's one of those things where we can remember, with 1996, what were we doing in 1996? Well, who knows? Some of us might be a little bit fuzzy about those recollections, but it's just
I was still a reader in 1996. I was still reading books. I miss those days, Martin.
There you go. You can always become a reader. It's like a bicycle, right? Yeah.
Well said.
But anyway, it's one of those things where I think it's just been a good excuse to dig up poems. Maybe not our own personal poetry from high school, but there's definitely some luminaries out there who've put out some great things. And I've prepared a couple of poems. I'm going to read the poem.
Ooh.
And I can't read the whole poem because, copyright and all that good stuff, but you can read excerpts and use it for educational purposes, let's say. Yeah. So these are just this was written just within the past couple years, and these are just so powerful. If I must die, let it bring hope, let it be a tale. And I think we can all relate to that. It's just maybe one of those feelings of, I want my life to mean something, but I also want my life to just inspire other people, right? To help them with the hardships. That was written by Rifat Al-Arir. It's a poem called If I Must Die. And it was written before he was killed in Gaza when there was an Israeli Defense Force strike on his community. I think some people will say it's prophetic, but I think for him, it was just kind of these are the anxieties we have. We know there's a non-zero chance that we might not make it to the next day. But I think it's just one of these things when we hear the words, we hear the context, and it just drives a lot of things home. But it's also something that we can think of in other contexts when we look at those words. I have another one. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? And I think when we think of Maya Angelou, we think of things that are a little bit more profound. But this was from her poem, Still I Rise, about Black women in America, not giving up, the legacy of slavery. So it goes down to a lot of these places that are maybe difficult to approach if we're just thinking of them directly, right? But for me, the way I read it is haters gonna hate. She just said it poetically, and that's what I get from this. And the rest of the poem is definitely worth taking a look.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, one that it's very near and dear to my heart. It was featured in the movie Interstellar with Michael Caine. And he kept repeating this, right? It's the apocalypse. The earth is just burning, and they're sending Matthew McConaughey into space. And this line gets repeated over and over. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
Yeah.
Just goosebumps and everything. But if you remember, there was this movie from the 1980s filmed right here in Madison where Rodney Dangerfield, back to school. They make up a fake name for UW, and it's filmed at the College Club and other places. And this is at one point it's one of the climaxes of the movie to see if he's actually learned something in school. He's bored of examinations, and he just gives like a fiery rendition of this. And then he tells like his advisor teacher, he goes, so this means I don't have to take any bleep from anyone, right? So, so it's just, I just love the fact that like this is Dylan Thomas, and it's just one of those poems that I think just surfaces in everywhere, even in comedies, even in places where you would think it doesn't really fit. And I think that's the thing about poetry. You can take it heartfeltly, you can take it ironically, but it always just gives something to the moment or to different works of art too.
I love that you chose two more modern poems because when I was in college a long time ago, a lot of my English classes, if it was a poetry class, it was all Dylan Thomas or John Keats or, you know, whomever. And they're great. That any poetry I memorized were the greats from back then, you know, Ode on a Grecian Urn or Matthew Arnold Dover Beach or Dylan Thomas, this great line. But I want to ask you, you were talking about the seasons. For whatever reason, when I was younger, Martine, I used to like to read poetry during the winter. I don't know if it helped me get through the winter or it made me less sad, but what is the best time of year to read poetry or a certain type of poetry as far as you're concerned? Because you obviously have stayed with it, which is amazing.
I mean, I think it has to do a lot with like there's literally a poet and a poem for any time, any circumstance in your life. For loss, definitely there's so many poems that can just really bring a little bit more of a sense of closure when there's loss, and those just come up in those circumstances. I think some of the ones like going into spring that the Henry Wadsworth about the daffodils and thing, I don't remember exactly. My grandma used to have it memorized and would just bring it out from time to time. But I think it's interesting when you think of that poem, you think of it as a young person, everything's flowering, and when you think of it as an adult, the springtime poem, it's just like, oh, well, it's just the yearning for the time that has passed from when I was young and fresh, right? So I don't know about the seasonality, but I think it's more or less one of those, I think, when we're trying to make sense of something in our life. It could be like some relationship, it could be some event. It's just one of those times when we reach for something else.
Yeah. I think that what's very interesting, too, is that this is now the second back-to-school reference that's been made on this show, because I didn't know it was filmed in Madison. Pete, you brought it up last week, and my mind was blown, because I'm like, I've seen that movie so many times. I had no idea it was set in Madison. But speaking of poetry, and specifically the first one, I got a book for Christmas that I saw in a Madison bookshop called Japanese Death Poems. It's written by a series of philosophers, Japanese men and women, philosophers, thinkers, scholars, just on the notion of death, and like looking at it from the most, like from both a spiritual, but also, as you said, a non-zero chance of escaping it. So it's like, when I know those things, how do I see this irrefutable fact, this unescapable moment where I will cease to be? How do I approach it? And it's just a book of poetry about that topic, written from people who really sit and think on it. And I've read a couple so far, and they're just beautiful because they just make you think, yeah, this is what's going to happen. And again, like I love that last line, let it be, what you read of the last line, let it be a tale. Let your life be worth something let your life be something worth talking about. So that's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, I think what was the thing of like, oh, if you really wanted to know what thing was on how the moon was, you should have sent a poet, right? Like, and I think to a certain extent, like Neil Armstrong had a great catchphrase. You could think of it as poetry originally in space. It's more like a factual statement. But yeah, I think that's one of the things with poets. It's one of those things like probably not going to get rich being a poet. There are a few exceptions, but it's something that people just craft and take with them. And I'm not one of those people that has the need to write every day, but I know people who just every day take out their notebook and they're writing something and they're refining it and they're just really working that. And then when it's ready, they present it, or sometimes they just write it for themselves because it's the way that they process the world. But poetry is just one of those things that.
Martine Alvarado is with us right now. He handles community engagement for the Madison Public Library, and he is here once a month talking about books. And tonight we're talking about poetry. Specific to seasons, I guess. Maybe what I should have. There's a great poem by Wordsworth called "The World Is Too Much With Us," and I am reminded of that because my college professor said that's when things get so crazy and the problems become modern day, and we are far away from nature. That poem has stuck with me all these years because now more than ever, the world is too much with us. Cell phones, flat screen TVs, iPads. We can't get away from the world. So I just thought that was interesting. I don't know what your opinion is on Wordsworth.
I guess I have a lot of knowledge of Latin American poets because that's where a lot of my cultural references come from. So I wouldn't be able to answer that question.
Okay.
Some of the ones that I really look up to are the ones that were writing right before the fascists took over in Spain and during the fascist regimes. And then they just have these allegories of like, well, just all this suffering we're going to endure, hope springs eternal, all those things I think that are universal to things. But I think just when people are put into these positions of a lot of restrictions, I think some of the really powerful work comes from.
Mark in Prairie du Sac sent a text message just now. It says, my father was a fan of Robert Service, and I remember reading, quote, The Cremation of Sam McGee in 7th or 8th grade. Service's March of the Dead is a powerful portrayal of the cost of war. And like I did not delve deep into poetry. I have a lot of friends who are very good poets, and they're also very good at interpreting. I remember in high school I took a poetry class, and I read a poem that was written about John F. Kennedy's assassination, and the poem itself is written in the form where it looks like a folded American flag, so it's in that triangle formation. And I remember reading that poem, being very struck by it. I wish now I can remember anything about it. I'm embarrassed the fact I can't remember it, but we had to write a poem, so I wrote a poem in reference to that. And it was so powerful for my poetry teacher that he actually read it for like the next 4 years to his classes. And to this day, I still try to find that poem somewhere in a box of memories, so hoping that I can find it, because I want to be like, I actually wrote a poem and it was kind of good, maybe. But I want to, I love poetry in a very surfacey sense, because I feel like can sometimes be very daunting. There's a lot of interpretation. There's a lot of folks out there who goes, well, actually, what they're trying to say is, I'm like, no, I just like the way it makes me feel when I read the words. That's all that matters, right, Martine?
Yeah, it's where it takes us. And I think I had a quick suggestion for reading The Poet's House. It's a novel, and it's sort of an outsider who sort of stumbles into this rarefied world of poets who meet in these secret committees and then have all these fights and romances and everything. So that's Gene Thompson, The Poet's House. That's like a more contemporary book. I also have The Savage Detectives, which is probably my favorite novel of all time. It's this madcap, these poets in Mexico, and then there's all these things where they're pursuing this like poet that they idolize, and then there's a little bit of espionage around the globe in Uganda and Israel and Europe. So it's if you want a caper, The Savage Detectives, it's just going to keep you going, and it has poetry kind of at its sense. It also has coming of age parts. It's amazing.
Wonderful.
That's awesome.
Well,
I didn't mean
always,
to geek out too much about Wordsworth. Sorry about that. I got a little excited, but
don't
These are great
apologize for
suggestions.
loving
Thank
art.
you.
That's great. Martine, as always, this time goes by so fast. We will talk to you next month. Martine Alvarado is the tech librarian at the Madison Public Library. We will put all of the information he suggested in our show notes, so don't go anywhere. Stick around. When we come back, it's time for the Nightcap. Read your text messages and find out what we learned right here on Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach on the Civic Media Network. Stay tuned. Stay close. Have a great night, Martine.
Thank you. See you next time.
As always, Martine, fantastic.
That was great, man. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I always, as you said, it goes too fast, but it's just so much fun. It's just such a ride. I always appreciate it. And thank you for the opportunity.
And thank you for going to the studio, too. It's we're happy to have you on over the stream if that's more convenient, but I love that you want to go there.
I'm literally like a block away.
It's perfect.
It's perfect, and the signal's so much better here. So
awesome.
All in all, a win.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Martine. We will talk to you next month.
Definitely. Take care.
Right.
See you then.
Take care, buddy.
Alrighty.
We're just sitting here saying nothing on The Secret Show.
We're meditating again.
It's so quiet. It's too quiet. I wonder where that line came from.
Oh, yeah. Where is that from?
It's quiet. It's too quiet.
And now it's just a cliche. They say.
Yeah, exactly.
Parody movies,
Let's see here. The frame, it's not from anywhere like of 1934, The Lucky Texan, airplane, of course. I picked the wrong day to quit.
Too quiet.
I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue. God, that movie is awesome.
So great.
Have you ever seen
David Zucker back on in May sometime? I think Tucker was talking to him.
Have you ever seen Black Dynamite?
Black Dynamite. Yeah.
Okay,
I think so but what is it?
I was going to say, if you so for me, I'm a very big snob when it comes to spoof movies, not parody films, spoof movies. So like Airplane, Naked Gun, that kind of thing. Black Dynamite is a spoof film of blaxploitation starring Michael Jai White, and it does the thing you're supposed to do in every good spoof movie. Never wink, never nod, never admit the joke, always play serious.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So good. It's so good. And I feel like people don't talk about that movie enough. But yeah, Black Dynamite is a fantastic spoof. One of the best, in my opinion.
I saw that, at some point. Did you ever see Dolomite? With Eddie Murphy?
Oh, that was a great movie. Yeah, that was a great movie.
It was fun.
Oh, man. And I really liked the Naked Gun one they did last year. I thought it was really, really fun.
Did you? I liked it. There were parts I liked about it, yeah.
It made me really laugh. I felt really, it didn't feel like it was trying too hard to traipse on. It paid perfect service to its predecessors, but it still was very funny. And Liam Neeson was built to play those roles. I just don't want him to turn into Leslie Nielsen. So
I see. My issue with it was Leslie Nielsen is just Liam Neeson couldn't be Leslie Nielsen. He's just too he's an action guy, and I can't.
5 seconds.
Okay.
It's time to wind it down. This is Nightcap with Greg and Pete.
Oh yeah, welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network, Big Daddy-O's. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at that kind of talk.
Wolfman Jack.
Okay. Welcome back to the show, everybody. We are coming to you live from Wisconsin, the Yotterhay Triangle, Racine at Radio Park. We got Pete Schwaba up in Marinette, Christmas City, USA, and then all the way over in Madison at Civic Media World Headquarters, Mr. Dom Lee on the ones and twos. Always be part of the conversation. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on that live stream. We are currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform we still call Twitter. Plus, always take a listen. You can listen to us anywhere in the world. You can listen to the music. You can listen to the talk shows. You can get your news by getting the Civic Media app. You can also call, text, and leave voice messages there as well. So you are set. Thank you for being here tonight. We really appreciate you. On tomorrow's show, that's right, we have a tomorrow show. That's how great we are. They're giving us another one.
Love it.
We'll be talking to Rachel Bernhard, who is the dining critic for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. She'll be here to give us restaurant recommendations and tell us about some of her recent articles. It's great talks with her. She's fantastic. What I like about Rachel is she loves food, she loves writing, but she's not a snooty critic. She's not like, oh, I've been to that place. It's not good. She loves food. She loves talking about it. And that's, for me, the important part. So she'll be here tomorrow night. We're very much looking forward to that. Very much hope you join us as well. We'll have another question of the night. We'll have the nightcap. We'll have so much more fun. And guys, it's Thursday. You know what that means. Nite Lite. The Nite Lite Movie Club with Mr. Dom Lee's selection, The Breakfast Club, which I'm very much looking forward to hearing your thoughts, Dom, on this one, because most of us, almost all of us, have been through the high school experience, but all three of us in different decades, different experiences. So I want to know what your thoughts are on that movie. I can't wait to talk to you about that. That's all tomorrow. Right now, let's get to some leftover text messages. Not like leftover like we didn't want to. They just didn't get a chance to get to them. Did we have any more on the text line, Dom?
It looks like we have a few. We have John Murray from Madison said, hard to not love an actor that sells it so hard that they really become the character.
There you go. All right.
Very
there you
true.
go.
And then
Yeah, one
Nick
from yeah, there you go. Sorry.
Yep,
Dan,
yep. He said, Nick from Marshall said, anger management.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep, yep. That was with, it was
Sandler.
Sandler, the Sandman.
We've got a few on social media here. Vince Moranto, very funny. Vince Moranto says, Cuckoo's Nest. Of course, he means one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Ask Your Mother frontman Eric Rathsack says, as good as it gets. Another vote for as good as it gets. Matt Harper, Green Bay rock rap artist, says The Departed. The Departed. He says, my all-time favorite. Love it. And finally, Marina Frazier on social media says, happy birthday, Jack. All right. Thank you, Marina. And thank you, everybody. Great stuff.
Love it. Thank you so much for everyone for reaching out. We appreciate you. Pete, what did you learn?
I learned that there's been about a 40-year gap since I've heard the name of a new poet. So I really liked having Martine on tonight. He's always fun. And Mike Clemens educated us about sports.
Yeah.
I learned about a soda water. I learned a lot of stuff today.
There you go.
I feel like I just went back to school. Call back. Flip it, Dom.
Are you listening, WBA? Oh, my goodness. That's so funny. Dom, what did you learn this evening?
I actually never heard of
Never learned
Jolt.
anything.
No, usually never do. No,
I don't really listen to the show, guys.
Jolt Cola. Never heard of it. Had no clue it existed until today.
I don't think it does anymore.
Here's the thing. Look here. Does Jolt Cola still exist? That's the top line. Yes, you can buy Jolt Cola, but it has returned as of 2024 as a zero sugar 16-ounce energy. Oh, that
defeats
caffeine-free Jolt.
It got all like it basically they turned Jolt into a podcast. Boo.
That's
boo. Really no, thank you. Can I tell you a really funny Jolt Cola story before we get out of here?
Yes.
Yeah, if you tell us what you learned too.
I'll tell you that after. I'll tell you that after I tell this story. So back in the day, I would go to the market and buy Jolt Cola with my own paper route money because I knew my parents didn't want me drinking it. We were like a Diet Coke family, and I would drink this stuff and then put the cans back into the little dolphin killing holders, and I would hide them under my bed. Don't ask me why. I have no idea why, because I was afraid I was going to get in trouble. That's why. But that was a stupid reason to do that. But I had like 2 or 3 6-packs empty under my bed. And I'm mowing the lawn one day, and my mom is walking out with her hands behind her back. And I'm like, oh no, what's happening right now? She goes, do you want to explain this? And I'm like, wait, what? I'm not hiding. Like, I'm trying to, like, there are no dirty magazines. I don't smoke cigarettes. There's no drugs. And she pulls out 2 empty 6-packs of Jolt. She goes, why are these under your bed? I go, I really don't know. And I think she was disappointed that I didn't even have an answer.
Wow.
Why did I hide empty 6-packs of Jolt Cola?
Where did you hide your Playboys? That's my...
What was that?
Where did you hide your Playboys?
Inside the Jolt Cola cans. That's where I hid them.
It was
very
a ruse.
tiny. They were tiny little booklets. They were like tiny little Playboy, just the interviews. It was just the articles. Just the articles. What did I learn? You know what I learned, guys? When I came onto the show today, I was having kind of a rough, not great day. It was a middling, frustrated, not getting a lot done. But I'm going to tell you this. Hang out with friends for 2 hours, have great conversations, have a good time, make a lot of laughs, and talk about the movie Back to School a couple times, and it makes your day go better. That's what I learned today.
That really good. I'm speechless. I'm without speech.
I am too.
It was beautiful.
It's really good.
And the soda stream is amazing. So
you already knew that, though.
But I already knew that, though. I'm in the pocket of Big Soda Stream. All right, folks. On behalf of Pete, we'd like to thank, because it's on behalf of, I'd like to thank Dom, Tucker, Engineering and Traffic with all the work they do. They make sure these microphones are on when we get in the booth. Want to thank everybody who got in touch with us on the live stream, on the text line, everyone who called in. Unfortunately, Jeff, we weren't able to get your call. But hey, if you're listening right now, send in your thoughts on your favorite Jack Nicholson movie. We'd love to hear from you still. Thanks to everyone. Without you, there is absolutely no us. So we really appreciate you being a part of the program. Remember, tomorrow we're going to be talking to Milwaukee Journal Sentinel food critic Rachel Bernhard here on the program. So we hope to see you tomorrow. And don't forget, after us, still great programming. So have a wonderful night. We'll talk to you tomorrow for the Movie Club, Breakfast Club. Pete, say goodnight to the folks.
Good night, Wisconsin.